Hey, how are you? This is Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Bregman of the Jewish Executive Learning Network and BregmanSuccess.com. Right now we're up to video number 11 in the Mesilas Yesharim Path of the Just series. We're learning up the Ramchal, Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, his classic work, Path of the Just, thank God. We're up to video 11, and we're going to wrap up right now chapter 2, Perek Beis, the trait, the midah of Zehirus. I'm going to read from you a little bit of a passage from the end, impart with you a great important Torah idea. We'll take it from there. So he says right here as follows: Ach, im adam mepakeach al atzmai, az HaKadosh Baruch Hu oizro v'nitel min hayetzer hara. If a person will look to himself, if you look to yourself and you do the right steps, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He, meaning God, will help you, and a person will be saved from the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, that desire in the drive inside of you that tempts you to go away from the right path and do the things that Hashem does not want you to do, that's not good for you. Okay? So, what does it say? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Oisra, He's going to help you. V'nitzol min hayetzer hara. He's going to save you and rescue you from the Yetzer Hara. But what was the prerequisite? But first you have to look to yourself. First you have to want it. First you have to desire that. Okay. And then he says even a little bit more. If a person's not going to look to himself and be careful for himself and to watch over for himself and to want it for himself, vadai, it is certain shekadosh baruch hu lo yifachach alav. If you're not gonna try to help yourself, you're not gonna try to upgrade yourself spiritually, you're not gonna try to uproot those base desires you have in you, you're not gonna try to put yourself in a position for spiritual success when you're not gonna be tempted and it's gonna become easy to choose the right and hard to choose the wrong. If you're not gonna do it for you, the Ramchal is saying God's not gonna do it for you. It's vadai, it's certain. He adds the word vadai. Why certain? Don't think I'm going to just do the dumbest things and tempt myself and put myself in a position of spiritual temptation. But don't worry, Hashem's going to help me anyway because we're close. We're like this, right? He says, vadai, it's certain, shekadosh baruch hu lo yifachach alav. He definitely ain't going to help you. Now, ki im hu eino chas mi yachus alav. And then the Ramchal says, if you're not going to have pity on yourself, you're not going to have pity on your soul, you're not going to look to yourself and try to use your time in this world, upgrade yourself spiritually, you're not going to do it, you're not going to try to fulfill your destiny, you're not going to have even pity on yourself to fulfill your potential. And what did you come into this world anyway for, right? Me, Yachus Alav, who should have pity on you? You don't have pity on you, who should have pity on you? That's what the Ramchal is saying. V'hu ke'inyan masha amru rabbeinu zechreinam lavracha, and this is what the sages mean. This is what we've been talking about up to now. This is the meaning of a chazal, of a statement of the sages found in the Talmud. He says, Tractate Brachos, Kol mi she'ein bo deya, asher lahem, asher lerachim alav. Talmud says that it is forbidden to pity somebody who has no das, who has no understanding. Now, certainly the Talmud is not talking about a person who by birth or has some kind of mental deficiency, God forbid, or something like that. Obviously, it's proper, and you're supposed to have pity on such a person. When the Talmud says, whoever doesn't have understanding, don't have pity on him, what the Talmud means, and this is what the Ramchal is saying, is if you don't basically worry about yourself, try to upgrade yourself, you don't try to become what you're supposed to, nobody should feel bad for you if you yourself don't feel bad for you in the first place. If you don't care about you, why should we care about you? Why should we come to your aid and have pity? You yourself aren't trying to upgrade yourself and fulfill your potential. Okay? That's what it means. And he says this is also the meaning, Vahu Mashu Amru Im Einani Mili. There's a famous Mishnah, statement of the sages in Pirkei Avos, Ethics of the Fathers, in which it says, Im Einani Mili. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? Now, some people look at that and misunderstand it. They read a quote or a Torah bumper sticker and they think it means something along the lines of like, be selfish. If I'm not for myself, who's going to be for me? It means something more spiritual than that. It means if you're not going to get yourself in gear and try to upgrade yourself, learn Torah, do the mitzvot, Get yourself a rabbi, proper spiritual guide. You try to become what you're supposed to. If you yourself aren't going to do that for you, who's going to do it for you? You think God's going to go do it? God's not going to go do it, okay? So what's a takeaway, my friends? Here's what I want to give over to you from this last piece in the section on Zahirus, on being watchful, okay? It's very, very simple. There's an expression, we say it in English many times, God helps those who help themselves. Okay? Is that a Jewish idea? Is it? Is it not? I would tell you it is, and that's what the Ramchal is saying over here. It applies certainly in a spiritual realm. If you yourself will come and try to upgrade yourself and be careful with the mitzvot and ask God to help you. Help me keep Shabbat. Help me be charitable. Help me zip my lips and stop speaking Lashon Hara, which means gossip, forbidden slander, and the like. You know, if you will do that, yeah, God's definitely going to help you. But if you're not going to have pity on yourself, and we mean on your soul, and to try to upgrade yourself and become what you're supposed to, don't think God's going to come fix all your problems for you. You have to do it, and it starts with you. God helps those who help themselves. This applies in a material realm and a spiritual realm. Up to now, we've been speaking about spiritually, but in the same way, if you don't have pity on yourself, on your finances, on your wife, on your children, on your family obligations, if you yourself don't care, what do you think God's going to do? FedEx to your door? UPS to your door? An envelope full of cash? You have to do it. You have to start. It starts with you. Get yourself under control. At least desire it. Want it. Whether it's your physical health, your weight, your healthiness, your diet, your finances, your bad attitude, your career, whatever it is. So many people pray, 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 pray. And that is definitely the Jewish way and a proper response. But then follow it up with massive action, hustle, work ethic, go, push, get yourself in gear, okay? So as the Maharal of Prague writes, in one of the Torah commentaries I have over there, it's actually Maharal up there. The Maharal writes that something that's true, if it's true in a physical way and in a spiritual way, in every different way. And the principle that we're learning here, that's what I'm trying to give over to you, a principle from the Ramchal in the Path of the Just, is that if you have pity on yourself, if you superintend and push and try to get yourself in order, God will come help you, certainly to get your Yetzer Hara, your evil inclination, under control, and certainly in the material realm as well. But if you're not going to be for yourself, who should come be for you? Who should pity you? Who should worry about you? Get your own house in order first, as far as you can, and then the mighty forces of God and his angels and all his bounty and blessing has a chance to come to you. First, make yourself a home for it first. Okay? Hope you enjoyed today's clip. Learned a lot. God helps those who help themselves. But don't be so busy with the just God helps those part like a lot of people. He'll do his, but first set it in motion. Do the help themselves part first. That's what I want to hear more of. Hope you learned a lot from this clip. This is Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Bregman of the Jewish Executive Learning Network and BregmanSuccess.com. That was video 11 in the Mesilas Yesharim, Path of the Just, Ramchal series. If you haven't yet checked out the other videos in this series, I encourage you to check them out. They're all on my Facebook page. If you scroll down, if you go on YouTube, there's a whole playlist, just a Path of the Just series. If you click on the playlist button, you could find them all there in order. Previous 10 in this series. Check them out. Let's learn. Have a great day. Bye.